Jack of Hearts, Sherry Ann Harris, 27
Ten
years
of
old.
Spades, Francis Gallo Jr.,
6 of Diamonds,
41 years
Ventura Sanchez, 61 years old.
King of Spades, Marcus Manson, 36
Queen
years
of
old.
Diamonds, Denari Morgan.
52 unsolved murders summarized in a deck of 52 playing cards.
Diamonds, William Aquino, 52
A picture,
years old.
name and age for each unsolved murder victim or missing person is imprinted on the deck of the cold case playing cards, published by the Connecticut Division
Two
of
of
Criminal
Hearts,
Justice.
Cheryl Ruff,
5 of
48
Clubs,
years old.
Edward Murphy, 36 years old.
4 editions have been printed so far. That's 208 unsolved murder cases of about 1,400 total in Connecticut.
7 of Hearts, Elizabeth Miller, 41
Ace
years
of
old.
Diamonds, Lisa Berry,
Hearts,
18 years old.
Ann Caro, 37 years old.
I'm Carlos Virgen from The Day in New London, Connecticut. On Case Unsolved, we tell the stories of unsolved murders and the people, family and friends, who are left without resolution. We started by looking at unsolved murders that The Day extensively reported on. We dug through our archives, pulling manila envelopes stuffed with yellowing newspaper clippings. The first season of Case Unsolved looks at 3 unsolved murders represented in the cold case deck of cards. Queen of Clubs, Desiree Michaud.
Desiree Michaud was an 18-year-old whose goal of leaving the streets of New London and pursuing an artist's life was crushed by the hands of her unknown killer.
Karen Florin was about the same age as Desiree Michaud when she was killed, and was familiar with the case through her years reporting on the court system. The King of Hearts, William Spicer Jr.
William Spicer Jr. was deeply involved in the Groton community and loved the Christmas tree farm that he owned. He was stabbed to death there, and many were left wondering who would do such a thing.
Erika Moser lives near the location of where William Spicer Jr. was killed. And the 6 of Diamonds, Erika Cirioni.
Erika Cirioni is a young woman. She actually was missing for quite some time before her case became considered a homicide. She struggled with addiction, which I think probably a lot of you know can lead a person to become stigmatized and to lose their friends. And so to some degree, I think her family internalized that because one of the things they expressed to me the most was just how alone they have felt during this whole quest for answers.
Lindsay Boyle, who extensively covers issues related to crime and drug addiction, took on the story of Erika Cirioni, a mother of 2 who had a history of drug abuse. Across the country, clearance rates for murders have fallen, while at the same time, the murder rates decline. According to FBI data, in the 1960s, about 91% of murders were solved, while in 2016, only about 60% were solved. Resources, funding, staffing have all been mentioned as possible reasons.
It helps having the manpower and having more people there, especially in the beginning.
I spoke to Dr. James Adcock, a former coroner who now conducts lectures and cold case consultations with police departments. He has written a book on cold case investigations and runs the Center for the Resolution of Unresolved Crimes.
Because a lot of departments don't have the money or the manpower to have what I call a dedicated cold case unit. Now, personally, I don't think it's a luxury. I think they should be a necessity with the larger departments especially. And if you have a group of small departments, then they can regionalize them. They can pull together their resources with different departments. Those concepts have been done well.
In 2016, the Southeastern Connecticut Cold Case Task Force was dissolved due to the state's budget constraints.
We have 242,000 unsolved murders in the U.S. from 1980 to through 2016. We have approximately 40,000 unidentified dead bodies in this country. So we don't even know who they are, much less, and until we know who they are, it's very difficult, if not almost impossible, to try to figure out who killed them, if they are murder victims. So we have a lot of, and these numbers are not slowing down. These numbers are rising each year. The 6,000 to 7,000 cases a year are being added to that list. So I'm saying it's something that we should be doing just like we do patrol, like we do anything else.
And of course, the age of some of the cold cases have hindered investigations, especially with cases that predate the widespread use of DNA technology.
Usually it's a matter of running out of leads It's a matter of just not having the information for some reason. The DNA may not, today we got DNA. We didn't back in the 80s, okay? So anything you look at from actually early 90s back, we didn't have the technology in DNA that we do today, which has become very helpful. But most of it's just running out investigative leads and not putting the pieces of the puzzle together.
The cold case deck of cards is primarily distributed among Connecticut's prison population in the hopes that inmates might have information about the murders, missing people, and
Solved.
unidentified remains.
King of clubs.
In fact, about
Cat
20 of the
card.
playing card murders have been
39.
solved.
Solved. 3 of diamonds. Diane Cusack, 52 years
Solved.
old.
6 of hearts. Anthony Parker.
Our goal was not to
24
solve
years
the
old.
cases. We wanted to bring the stories of these lost lives to a new audience. Of course, there's hope that someone knows something and will contact police. But it was more important for us to recreate their lives and deaths as much as possible so that the remnants of their lives find a permanent place in these digital
9
recordings.
of diamonds. Sean Dudley, 19
Solved.
years old.
4 of clubs. Juan Macarno,
Solved.
24
8 of
years
clubs.
old.
Delano Gray, 22 years
Next
old.
week, we bring you the first cold case. In 1984, Desiree Michaud, an 18-year-old aspiring artist with a troubled past, was working as a prostitute in New London when she was last seen on Bank Street. She was found dead in a Groton motel room. The first of 3 episodes about Desiree will launch on May 26. Please subscribe to Case Unsolved on your favorite podcast app and make sure you rate us.